Thousands of unaccompanied minors are showing up at the border. It's August 6, 2024, and these are your headlines. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the total number of unaccompanied minors encountered at the southern border who are subsequently released to sponsors inside the country remains in the tens of thousands. Now, the most recent numbers published on July 29th by the Office of Refugee Resettlement show that 10,720 unaccompanied minors were released to sponsors in Texas during fiscal year 2024. During the last fiscal year, that number was 16,394. Fiscal year 2022 saw the highest number of unaccompanied children released to U.S. sponsors in Texas. That was 19,071. And in fiscal year 2021, 15,338 were transferred to sponsor care in the state. But despite the tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors who are still being encountered at the southern border and transferred to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Office of Refugee Resettlement for release to U.S. sponsors, the number of overall illegal border crossings has plummeted. Former ICE Special Agent and President of the Border Patriot PAC, Victor Avila, told Texas Scorecard that he thinks this is due in large part to a secret immigration-related deal struck between President Joe Biden and Mexico as the November election season nears. The Center for Immigration Studies' Todd Bensman had also suggested that President Biden has bribed Mexico to help his administration get control of the southern border. The results of a 3-year program by the National Bureau of Economic Research show that guaranteed income worsened the quality of life for recipients. Imagine that. Where all men are paid for existing. ChatGPT founder Sam Altman and the National Science Foundation helped fund the largest unconditional cash transfer program evaluated by a randomized controlled trial in the U.S. to date in terms of the amount dispersed. A test group of 1,000 people received an extra $1,000 a month. A control group of 2,000 participants received an extra $50 a month. Now, the study spanned rural, suburban, and urban locations in 10 counties in north central Texas, including Dallas, and 9 counties in Illinois, including the Chicago area. The average annual household income was $29,900 for 3 people without government benefits. When including the extra $12,000, a 40% annual increase in the income for the participants, the test group's annual individual income dropped by about $1,500. Household income fell by $2,500. For every guaranteed dollar received, total household income fell by at least 21 cents, while the total individual income fell by at least 12 cents. Participants spent nearly all their extra money on increased consumption and reduced labor. They bought more and they worked less. According to the study, few saved, invested, or reduced debts, which would have improved their financial stability. Individuals in the test group also worked 1.3 to 1.4 fewer hours per week, while test households reported adults worked 2.2 fewer hours. Participants reported no improvement in the quality of employment. Last year, Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo announced a guaranteed basic income pilot program, Uplift Harris, that would have selected nearly 2,000 Harris County families by lottery. The Harris County Commissioners Court voted to send the families $500 a month for 18 months. Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the county in April, saying the program violated the Texas Constitution. And in June, the Texas Supreme Court extended a stay, pausing any action on Harris County's program for now.
What are the important things out there in Texas politics and Texas news that matter to you, and what can you do about it? That's what we want to bring you with the Luke Macias Show on a weekly basis for 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can get the information and go do something for the rest of your week. I look forward to coming to you every Wednesday.
Well, Galveston County just won a major redistricting case that could shift dozens of political seats in Texas and elsewhere from Democrats to Republicans at all levels of government. This is according to a decision issued by the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals that concluded that federal law does not protect coalition districts created by opportunistic political combinations of voters from different minority groups. Galveston County was sued in 2022 over district maps for county commissioners that were redrawn following the 2020 census. The redistricting plan eliminated the sole Democrat commissioner's majority-minority precinct, a coalition district of blacks and Hispanics. Neither blacks nor Hispanics are a large enough group in Galveston County to create a majority district. Now, Galveston County's attorneys successfully argued that the Voting Rights Act does not protect coalition districts, which represent political, not racial alliances. And Thursday's en banc ruling eliminating coalition districts could transform how electoral maps are drawn. Democrats in Texas and other states stand to lose seats across all levels of government, from school boards to the state legislature to Congress. Election expert Hans von Spakovsky said that ultimately the Supreme Court will have to decide this issue, and that will, at least in this case, depend on whether the NAACP and the Justice Department decide to appeal. He said that given the Supreme Court's prior decision on crossover districts, if I were a betting man, I would bet against any appeal being filed. In addition to ruling against coalition districts, the Fifth Circuit sent the case back to the district court to consider the plaintiffs' intentional discrimination and racial gerrymandering claims. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.